Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really cool shift in how we travel. We're moving away from just, ticking off boxes on a map and towards something deeper, a new kind of journey where history isn't just something you see, it's a story you actually get to step inside. You know that feeling, right? You get back from a trip and you're more tired than when you left. You've battled crowds, rushed through a checklist of sites, and you're just burnt out. It really makes you wonder, is there a better, more meaningful way to see the world? And that's really the heart of the matter. You've got two different ways of thinking about travel. On one side, there's the classic mass tourism model. It's all about volume, and it often just leads to burnout. But on the other side, something else is popping up: archaeological tourism. It's all about trading that superficial glance for a real, deep connection to our own past. So what's really pushing this change? Well, it all starts with people getting kind of fed up with the old way of doing things. We're seeing now, especially after the last few years, that travelers are just being more intentional. We're not just asking, where can I go anymore? We're asking, why does this place even matter? We're on the hunt for something real, something authentic, and a true understanding of the places we visit. And this whole search for meaning, well, it's got a name. It's what's fueling the rise of archaeological tourism. And let's be clear, this isn't about just passively looking at a bunch of old stones. Nope. This is about actively getting involved with the great story of human history. These are journeys that are carefully designed, curated, to connect you with the oldest stories we have, turning what could be a simple trip into something, well, profound. So why is all this taking off right now? It's kind of a perfect storm, really. You've got travelers who are totally over the massive crowds and are looking for real story-based trips. And for the travel industry, it's a huge win. This kind of travel attracts a more thoughtful traveler, offers way more value, and bonus, it's not tied to just one busy season. Okay, so if you're looking for the absolute perfect place to have this kind of experience, there is one region that just blows everywhere else out of the water: Anatolia. In modern-day Turkey. You could say Anatolia isn't just a place with history. It basically is a living, breathing archive of all of human history. Here, thousands and thousands of years of civilization aren't just buried. They're literally layered, one right on top of the other, just waiting to be explored. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The ground right under your feet holds the story of humanity's biggest game changers. This incredible density of sites, from the first temples ever built to giant empires, makes it the perfect canvas for telling one single epic story of how we got to now. So let's actually do it. Let's go on a quick journey through that story. We're gonna hit 4 key sites that really show off this incredible historical timeline. The scale of what we're talking about here is just immense. We're about to zip across more than 10,000 years of history, from the very dawn of organized religion all the way to the peak of a massive Bronze Age empire. Let's start with this number. Just look at it. 12,000. That's how old our first stop is, Göbeklitepe. It's honestly hard to even wrap your head around how ancient that is. What makes Göbeklitepe such a game changer is that it totally flipped our understanding of the past on its head. For decades, the story was, first came farming, then came complex society. But this place suggests that organized religion might have actually come first. These huge, beautifully carved pillars were built by hunter-gatherers, something that before this discovery, historians thought was pretty much impossible. Okay, so 5,000 years after we built our first temple, we take the next giant leap. We go from sacred sites to organized city life. Welcome to Çatalhöyük, one of the world's very first cities. This place isn't just a pile of ruins. It's a window into how communities were born. Seriously, imagine a city with no streets. Everyone just walked across the rooftops and climbed down ladders to get into their homes. And the art they painted on their walls gives us this incredible ancient snapshot of their culture. It's an absolute goldmine. All right, let's keep moving. We're gonna jump forward another 4,000 years. We've gone from community to something more complex. We're at Arslan Tipi, where we start to see the very first hints of government and bureaucracy. Arslan Tepe is where everything starts to get organized. It has one of the world's oldest palaces, and we found proof of administration and record keeping that's even older than some from Mesopotamia. This is where society becomes hierarchical hierarchical, structured, and starts to look a lot more like the world we recognize today. And for our last stop, we're heading into the Bronze Age, right into the heart of a superpower that once went toe-to-toe with ancient Egypt. This is Hattusa, the mighty capital of the Hittite Empire. Here, we've hit the peak of ancient power. Hattusa is the stuff of legend. You can literally walk through its massive stone gates, explore secret tunnels, and stand in the very center of an empire that shaped the entire ancient world. It's incredible.
So we've seen these amazing sites, but the real magic isn't just in visiting them one by one. It's about how you weave them all together.
See, the best of these journeys are designed like a great story. They don't just bounce you between random spots. They build a narrative, connecting the spirituality of Göbeklitepe to the community of Çatalhöyük, then to the politics of Arslan Tepe, and finally to the imperial power of Hattusa. They bring in experts, archaeologists, historians, who make the stones talk, and they make sure the whole experience feels real and authentic.
And that, right there, is the big idea. The future of meaningful travel isn't about taking off landmarks from a list. It's about telling stories. It's about moving from being a passive observer to being an active part of the narratives that made us who we are. In the end, travel can be so much more than just an escape. It can be a bridge connecting us directly to the deepest, most fascinating parts of our shared human story. So the only question left to ask is, where will you decide to build yours? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.